DNA is unique, so experiences that I'm recording. Yeah, it's very interesting what you are. So you are showing me right away. It's like you took me by hand. And let's go explore. Let's go. I'll tell you what I was before. And it's this crystalline structure being purple amethyst, light purple crystal. You have like energetic roots going into the planet. Tiamat. You're saying it's just a prototype for Earth. That's how Earth is. These are like sister planets. And you're saying that it's still existing in higher dimensions. It's never been destroyed in those. And that's where you are existing as that purple crystal. It looks like coral with lots of branches. But I see the strong energy roots in there. And then I see you also. You split your, so basically you launched your soul on Tiamat, and then you split yourself to also become some interesting, it's kind of like animal. Looks like in between monkey and a fox, like those big, like foxes with big ears.
Uh-huh.
And you're looking at this crystal and talking to it every day because you know it's you. It's part of you. You're just like experiencing gaining experiences from two different perspectives of the same planet. You're also planning to be incarnated later as a whole, like reunite into one of the human beings here. Because they totally look like humans, but they're just much taller, more like Atlanteans. If you look at them, uh, and you're this like little, you're this the color is reddish brown with this is blue eyes, which the eyes that turn light green depending on the vibration go back to blue. When it's interesting what happens when you connect back with your own self. It's like you turn purple because the essence of your soul is purple. And then like somebody extracts you from the ground. I see like a big hand and a big hand with long nails, 4 fingers. Looks like a monster of some sort, but it comes from the ship. It looks like very tall, black with spikes all over. I get that it's a holographic image of a computer generated being, but it's totally a projection of that being built up in the physical reality by using the energy of this planet. I'm curious how they did it because it's like you can poke your fingers through him. When I touched him, there was no DNA. So it's like completely hologram, kind of falls apart when you touch it also. But he's the one who takes you into this energetic. It's like a bag, not, I mean, something looking like a bag, like a sack. And he takes you and you scream like, taking me away. Because the planet is your mother, gave birth to you, and you're taken as a child from there. That's why you scream. It's like a screaming, it's like an inside scream of unbelievable, it's like all mixed emotions of sad, angry, frustrated, not understanding what's happening, how unfair it is, what's going on. And then I see this little fox. It's just like a running in disbelief behind that being. That being is totally programmed to grab a few crystals and go. He does take another blue one, and it looks like a selenite one kind of crystal, and goes to the spaceship. Oh, there are lion beings on the spaceship. There's one that I'm looking at. It's called a commander. Commandolur. That's how they pronounce it. With a r at the end. U with double dots for some reason shows me. And he's standing in the by the control panel, the spaceship. In he's actually like he's got this equipment on him. He's got a space suit on him. It looks like a blue, bright blue. Looks like fabric to me, by interesting wave fabric. Goes by blocks sewn together type thing, but not like we would do it on Earth. Different, merged, melted in fabrics, mixed with metal and plastic type consistency, something technological, and protection, energy generator, sustain energy, recharge, connect, um, read everything like a radar system connected to the ship with consciousness of the being, which goes in multiple layers, and also it has a lot of pieces of his soul doesn't look like our soul. It looks like it's composed of different little, let's say they're rounded boxes with the space inside, and you can put in programming or DNA from different beings to fuse you with others and to make you feel, make you have a different characteristics of other races, kind of like almost like a soul, but an implant slash implant. There's a little bit of his own consciousness left, but I feel like he's totally technologically went down the technological progress path route. And this being, when it comes in, it just almost like sucked in into the computer, the image. It connects it zaps, it goes like zzz, it goes straight in. That's it. The computer screen itself can project anybody who's sketched on it or created, designed. Or it can also take off the parameters from the person in front of it and project the same exact image into any point of the universe if they want it to be projected. They put you in some lab They actually don't put you immediately into the glass container. They start studying you. Mantis are the one who study you, and the lions are controlling them, the felinoids. Some of the felinoids you can clearly see are mixed with humans. There's like up to 40% of humans in them, but the dominant features are still from the lions. But they merge themselves, they hybridize themselves with humans because humans are extremely smart when the human DNA is not blocked. So they're looking at you. It's almost like they take pieces of you and it really hurts you. I hear you scream in my head every time they would pinch you or take a little piece of you to study under a microscope and put into their devices, looks like centrifuges and things like that. You just like extreme pitch screaming in my head when I'm looking at this. But then they do know it's not the whole because they read the information off of you. There is device that goes over you. It creates some electromagnetic field, and through that field, they absorb the information from you, how you were born, who gave birth to your soul, and where the rest of your soul is. But they just let it be. They're not gonna get the other part incarnated in this little fox type being. Nah, more like a cat, fox. I don't know what it is. It's just different. Numi, his name is. He tells me. But anyway,
Can I ask you something?
yeah, sure.
Um, so, so I was hoping to be able to find out like my connection to my daughter because I was told by someone else that we had a previous life together and that I had been her daughter. She
Hmm.
was my mother, and we have a lot of problems, she and I, with communication. I'm hoping that you can figure out what our problem is and resolve, help me to resolve that. Is that
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I just the reason why, when I connect to subconscious always reads immediately. It's an immediate subconscious back-to-back connection, telepathic, if you will. And then, you immediately knew my protocol. So I need to know where you came from, how you got here, whether it was your free will or you got caught, and there's different
okay?
ways they catch souls. So just research on that because it's important to change that also. So you're not
Okay.
connected by any means to those beings who caught you, because if you're still connected to them, that the whole method is about to be completely free. So your soul is free when it comes out of the physical body. So you're not magnetized by the spaceship you connected to, because they did put GPS in you and they're following you. They are kind of putting you together, putting your lives together, your so-called destinies, writing life stories for you, and they're doing it for you because they are controlling you. So we need to get rid of that control so you can create your own reality. And that's why your soul showed me immediately how it got here. And actually, it's not your choice to be here at all. You belong to the kind of light, high vibrational planets. It's just not easy for you here to process these low vibrational feelings of people and how they connect with you and how they respond, and a lot of times. So, not you don't understand why a lot of times. And that your subconscious is happy, kept it's been knocking on the door of your conscious mind because it's been programmed. So finally, opened up, and that's why you start searching for answers. But yeah, I can go into live study one. It's like 31 and 32 are connected. And I think that's when they introduced. Your daughter is another crystal um, from your planet. Ah, that's that blue one. That's that blue one that they took together with you as a bunch.
Mm.
And but they start incarnating, throwing her into your incarnations in that life that you're talking about. 32, 31, and going into 32. Uh, yeah, they were trying to see how you would interact with each other in this kind of close connection, because the problem is they try to make her incarnated in other families, but she would not she would she the mother that they would pick for her would miscarry her all the time, simply because vibrationally, and in term, you imagine your huge crystal, it's not like what we used to see, not little, just vibrationally she wouldn't fit into the physical body. And so that's why the whole thing started. And it just didn't work incarnating, making her incarnate in other families. So they came up with this idea, hey, they're from the same planet, let's do it. And she's going through 31st incarnation, let's make her mother, let's switch up later. uh so that's in your book. You do have a book. It's actually like purple glass. It's not even a book. It doesn't look like a book. It's like an iPad, but a glass iPad with a purple glass, and it's totally has your data in it, personalized kind of. They call it AI folder or glass folder. That crystal, kind of based device. You put it on your table. You already asked them to give it to you. That Philinoid who's in charge, he brought it to you. And he's standing in your energy sphere. He's so big. You made him small into a cat. It's pretty funny. Put him in a basket. A basket is holding him. And there's this mantis who was dissecting you and taking parts of you to research under the microscope in their lab on their spaceship. He's also frozen. He's in you put him in a big brick of ice. You literally took Frozen as Frozen. And the book. Your daughter's standing outside of your energy sphere looking at you. And you're giving her information because you understood that you were just like put together, creating different situations of rejection, what comes to me, or misunderstanding. And it's like artificially designed fighting of the soul with the purpose of extracting energy of similar kind energy, similar vibrational energy from beings from the same place, and using those energies because they're pretty strong. I see that they are using it specifically for some of their technical apparatuses. How do you call those? Like machines or things like that. Because they carry your energy, also has the ability to absorb and hold information, much like crystals do. And that's why they're using your as almost like computer energy generating motors for computers and different equipment that they use. So you both have some device attached to the back of your heads with the cords going down your spinal cords all the way down, and then it gets fixed, attached to the tailbone, and from tailbone it goes and hooked up to the wall there with a machine that it's almost like it kind of looks like a gas taken from, moving from one point to another, from the equipment to the car or whatever those the gas stations are called. And that's what they do with you and with your daughter. They just siphon energy and it goes into the wall and it spreads out to their equipment. And that's why they're connected. It looks like that device looks like a big suction cup on the back of your head with the big cord, like pretty thick, coming out of it and running down the spine. It's overlaying the spinal cord. There's also some weird implant on the head. It has like different sides. It's almost like somebody carved it perfectly. It goes like here, connect like to your nose, and goes like in triangle, covers your entire middle area, which we call pineal gland, and goes on top, which is a continuation of pineal gland connection to space, covers that. Which reminds me some ancient Roman, mm, or even Egyptian decorations for the heads or something like this. I mean, this implant, it's carved and it looks pretty beautiful for an implant. And then you take it off. She repeats after you, actually, your daughter, because they connected to you both through your chest area, through your heart. You connected. There's energy ray of connection in between two of you. I see it in bright, like a metallic kind of color, like silver color. And you cut that cord yourself. She agrees. She doesn't want to be connected, even though you're from the same planet, but you have different ideas for future incarnations and things like that. So you don't need to be stuck with each other because you also share the same pains in a way, the same mental process, and it's like a constant energy exchange that comes with the exchange of emotion and thoughts, which you don't need to do it because you're not twins. Uh, Siamese twins, that's what you're saying. Not like that. Uh, I'm looking at your implants and at your so-called book of device with your stories. You know, the numbers, like this is a life number 81, keeps popping from the beginning, popping up. And You just want to, you know that it's all fake at this point. You take a big, you're laughing about, you're like in inflatable, where's my inflatable hammer? And you just smash that thing. Like you're saying you never gave permission to do it, to put it for you. You want to create your own story, and nobody should be creating it for you. You're the one who creates stories and planets and universes. It's just that your rational part doesn't remember about it because the whole system is designed that way that we don't remember. So we don't feel like we're anything good, we're anything special, but we are. So you open a portal, you throw it out of the portal. Your daughter has a similar kind of device as terms of, because I see her through your energy sphere as I'm standing here, walking around you, checking on things. And that thing from the head is down, and you're throwing it out in the portal together. Was it broken into pieces, tiny, tiny pieces, specks into the portal? I get like there's something in the stomach, a little bit radiating into kidneys, a little bit into the reproductive organs. It's like a strange looking, I've seen spheres like this before, but the sphere has the attachments almost like the receptors. The receptors look like wires, short wires sticking out of the main of the sphere. At the end of each wire is like a metallic tiny teardrop shaped. It's a program in there. It's like a cell with a nucleus inside. The nucleus holds a program. The program connected to their equipment on the spaceship, and he could control your mood. He can control your responses through that. He can take your energy. He can deplete you of energy. He and the device can take all the energy, um, let's say from the stomach, right? Mm, because in the stomach is where you put the energy of frustration or um, this feeling of, oh, I'm failing, I'm misunderstood, and I don't know how to solve this problem, and things like that. Like all the low vibrational feelings that machine absorbs from your stomach because they go directly there. That's where you naturally save low vibrational feelings. The implant is pretty big. So you take it out. Kind of reminds me of that ball with spikes that sometimes I've seen in some people hand. I don't remember how it's called, but it doesn't matter. So you throw it out. Interestingly, it's kind of has this long cord going to their spaceship also. So you cut the cord, you throw it out to the black hole, you say, and then there's these things from the feet that you take out. It's like shoe inserts. They look exactly like that at the bottom of your feet. They look like energy, like bright blue energies. They're supposed to keep you glued sometimes in some situations, not moving, not acting, or acting the wrong way, or moving the wrong way. So basically, they can even make you fall or stumble or like, by accident. And you think it's by accident, but it's actually them who doing it. So you take them off of your feet, throw them out in the portal also. Then you launch this powerful, you concentrate your energy on cleansing your, changing the timelines of your 80 lives before this one. And yeah, I also tell you to, you can clean your emotional mental bodies, to go under the some sort of shower that looks like waterfall, doing that. So strands of DNA, 40. You're just taking some metallic little, you call them strings, and not really strings, they're like more like rings, around, trying to bunch up different strands together to block the access of other strands in a perfect manner so they cannot connect and the energy cannot flow for you to access. So you take them all off. There are 15 of them. You throw them in the portal out. Um, so those two lives, for you as your daughter, they're not really that significant. They're just trying to create trauma. They were just trying to create conflict in between two of you. That's all they've been doing. The same thing they're doing here. And it's like every 5 lives, they would go and connect you with. Actually, they also connected you to that crystal. Looks like a white energy, like selenite type looking crystal in some in the other lives, in life number 59 and 60. So they see that they've been, but it's a different father and son. Here you go. Similar kind of scenario, but fighting between father and son. Uh, I see some visitors on their spaceship. It looks like a lizard guy with bright yellow eyes. He's saying, "What's going on here? Where's the commander?" He's so vicious, this one. He can turn into a lizard like we used to see on Earth, but he also turns into a human-looking lizard. He is really behind this lion, this felinoid. He's really in charge and control of everything what is going here. He shows up once in a while to check on things. But that's here. It's like he owns this ship or something like this. So you block him. You basically you're pushing right now. I see the mantis and his ice cube out in the portal, and you're telling the well, you turn the cat in the basket into the lion, back into felinoid, and you told him to go out of your energy sphere, to never again connect with you, because you refuse. You never gave him permission. And with that, when you say that, I see you back on your planet as a crystal, existing there happily, connecting with your little soul brother, like you call him, another part of you, that little animal. Looks also like a bunny with the ears on the sides, fox ears. Yeah, and you're happy. Your daughter's did her thing, disconnecting from the spaceship also, because you're connected energetically as a daughter and a mother, and she just read she was watching, she was really curious, she was looking at you, what you were doing, was repeating after you. So subconscious, at subconscious level, subconsciously, you really I mean, connected. You're like, you know, we're from the same planet. We know each other. There, you're like friends. Here, they were trying to create conflict in between two of you, but it doesn't exist anymore there in the etheric and in the. It's gonna come down to the physical and manifest itself as normal relationship, but it's gonna the only thing that to explain to her in the physical that, and also it depends on two parties to understand, to process the information, and to change the programming of how you used to react. You both used to react at each other. That's important because otherwise the changes, would not be supported by the rational mind part, and they have to be supported because we run by, on autopilot a lot of times with the developed behaviors that we've developed throughout lives. So we expect certain things that people think and do, and a lot of times it's not what they think. That we interpret it that way based on our perception or habit, let's say, of dealing with those people. So that's all done. You changed the whole timeline there. You put a bubble of protection over yourself and told all the other crystals to do the same on your on Tiamat, and they could never take you anymore. And you tell me you told the queen to there to do to better protect everything that is alive and everything that has consciousness on the planet. She's aware. She'll do it. So, well, we are done with the main part. If you want, you can ask more questions, or we can do part two as your personal questions, whatever you want. It's up to you.
Oh, let's see. I did have some questions written down.
Do you want a separate video for that, or for yourself? Or those would be interesting. If those are interesting for everybody, to see if you decide to share it with others, that'll be good too. It's up to you.
Um, uh, I'm not sure. I definitely don't want my face to be shown, but I didn't know how
No,
to.
no, I understand. Yeah.
Um,
If questions are personal related to your family members, I mean, we can record it as a separate video if you want.
okay. Um,
And then you'll decide if you want to share the first part. That's what
oh,
I mean.
okay. Okay, yeah, we'll do that then. We'll do a separate one.
Mm.
Thank you.